At this point, everyone should know who Skrilla is due to his famous 6'7". Skrilla's album just dropped. It's called Z. So I checked out the album. And from how I see it, this is his first big step from his viral 6'7" moment. And he has dropped since then, of course. I'm not sure if his previous projects are considered albums or not. I'm not sure when it comes to most artists in terms of that. But it does seem like this is essentially kind of like a debut album. He has a couple features on here. A couple big features on here, I should say. He got a Lil Yachty feature. NBA Youngboy feature. That's one of the main singles from the album called Free 40. I've been listening to that since that came out. The album to me was highly anticipated because I wanted to see what he wanted to do with this album. I was very curious to see how he would be establishing himself in the industry with this album. You know what's interesting as well is on the main single with him and NBA Youngboy, on the hook, he says he's going to get clean after this album come out. I don't know how true that is, but I do think that is interesting. It's definitely a talk point because if you are familiar with Skrilla, he comes from Kensington and Philly. He be with the fiends and all the druggies and all that. That's part of his brand or where he come from. A lot of people these days that are familiar with Philadelphia know about Kensington now. He helped put that shit on the map. On top of those other two big features, another interesting thing that I thought that this album had was the other features that it has. So let me pull that up real quick. Outside of those two mainstream features of Lil Yachty and NBA Youngboy, he also got Rico Havoc and Ola Runt. And I heard him work with both of those rappers before. And the other few features that are also listed, they are foreigners. Now, a couple of them rappers, you know, have worked with other popular US rappers as well. But I thought it was interesting that he had them on there and they're rapping in a different language. I don't know what one of the languages were. I don't know. Niggas just had accents and shit. I wasn't familiar with those other features. But I thought that was very interesting in terms of like the anticipated reach other rappers will help bring in because they rap it in another language. So I thought that was different. So all the energy that the 6'7" craze created, to me, this album Z, this project does feel like him taking the time out, using that same energy and turning it into something extremely intentional. With this overall album, he does reference the 6'7" notion throughout a lot of the songs on here, which I think is good because for that to, it's very hard for a rapper to come back from that type of attention. You feel me? Not to come back, but just to maintain it because that's something that, you know, is a moment. You feel me? And a lot of times, and I know he feels this way, I'm sure, a lot of times that 6'7" thing became bigger than him to the point where random children, they don't know he exists, but they're saying it. You feel me? But it's just like, bro, you got that from Skrilla. Come on, give him credit. This album does help solidify his own lane in the industry because as far as I'm concerned, Skrilla got his own sound. And I think that's fire. It's beautiful. He created his own lane. And him representing Kensington to the degree that he has and that he's currently doing throughout this album and just everything that he produces, he's bringing you into his world. You feel me? That's why it works. I keep talking about world building. Skrilla is one of the few new age artists that exists that has honed in on that something crazy. Most of the people that he featured with in the past, he brings them to his world. So they're going to shoot a music video out in Kensington. You feel me? With all the fiends and all of that. He does a perfect job of world building. But now at this point, we have to see like, all right, well, who is this album for? You feel me? Who are you trying to bring into your world? Who is interested in Skrilla's world? So the album sonically is very dark. Stays on theme with everything that Skrilla has been producing and putting out. The dark sound stays on brand. And what he's doing with this album is so important because it's the difference between having a moment and actually creating a lane. As far as I'm concerned, he has already created a lane for himself. But I am from Philly, you feel me? So I've been tapped in with Skrilla more than someone that's not from Philly, you feel me? He didn't make this album from everybody. Like I said before, people aren't, even though the 6'7" thing is a mainstream sensation to say the least, Skrilla is not yet considered to be a mainstream artist. And is he trying to obtain that or not? I don't know. But he has a feature with NBA YoungBoy. Now, as far as I see it, and I could be wrong. You can tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. But as far as I see it, NBA YoungBoy doesn't get on too many people's songs. You feel me? I know it's not too often when you see somebody got an NBA YoungBoy feature. Like the last person I recall seeing had an NBA YoungBoy feature was Nicki Minaj. I don't recall, so I think that's very special that he was able to obtain it. And like that's one of my top favorite songs. The Free 40 song featuring NBA YoungBoy is one of the strongest songs on the project. Partially because NBA YoungBoy. Not saying that Skrilla can't carry it himself, because he definitely can. And for real, the only feature that I believe truly sonically adds to the album is the NBA YoungBoy feature and the Rico Havoc feature. All the other features are cool, but to me, Skrilla could have carried that shit on his own. You feel me? He's straight. And most of the songs on here, he does carry on his own, and he carries very well. Some of the top songs that I would recommend sonically from this album is Bazin, Bloodbath, Mr. Clean, and Die For Me. To me, those are some of the strongest songs on here. Again, Die For Me, Mr. Clean, Bloodbath, and Bazin. This is a solid project, solid album. It's great. I appreciate him putting this out. It's over an hour long, which is beautiful to me. His last project was about 44 minutes, so this joint got an extra 15 minutes or so of time, which I told y'all before, new industry standard again. You feel me? Because like before, niggas kept trying to make short projects, short songs, da-da-da-da. Shit is growing. You feel me? Real album. You feel me? I'm an album person, so I appreciate that time. So just to answer the question at hand, can Skrilla turn a viral moment into a real lane? And I say yes. He already established he built his own lane. He has an ongoing story that's going on that's going to also keep people interested, and an ongoing story crosses state lines. You know. I recommend y'all listen to it. Got Sana's stamp of approval. Again, one of the songs on this album is in my Sana's Picks playlist. My name is Sana. If you don't know, now you know.